Hey everybody, and welcome to class. Can you open your Bibles with me to Exodus chapter 19? We're taking another step in You Shall Be My People, our survey of Exodus through Deuteronomy. Tonight, I want to talk to you about the priests. God had a lot to say about them as Israel is encamped around Mount Sinai. He's making them into a nation. Can you begin reading with me in Exodus 19 verse 6? One of the things that is going to set this nation apart, make them a holy nation, God's people, is Exodus 19:6, you shall be to me a kingdom of priests. What were priests? How would they help Israel be a holy nation? Well, last Wednesday, we listened in to Exodus 25, 26, and 27, where God gave detailed instructions for the tabernacle. And after God does that, turn over with me to Exodus chapter 28, where God begins giving detailed instructions about who these priests were to be and how they would serve in that tabernacle. Verse 1 of Exodus 28, God says, "Then bring near to you Aaron your brother." Aaron was the brother of Moses. "Bring Aaron and his sons with him from among the people of Israel to serve me as priests." Priests would serve God in a special way. And it would start with this family: Aaron and Aaron's sons, Nadab and Abihu, Eleazar and Ithamar. But it wasn't just this family who would serve in the tabernacle. The entire tribe of Levi would be involved in serving God as priests. Listen to what God said in Numbers 18, verse 6. "Behold, I have taken your brothers, the Levites, from among the people of Israel. They are a gift to you, given to the Lord." Priests were given to the Lord to do what? To do the service of the tent of meeting. And there were lots of them, right? This was an entire tribe of people. They needed a leader. The leader of all the priests would be called the high priest. Now, in our class, we'll look at several New Testament passages that help us understand what this was all about. For right now, I just need you to listen with me to the first 4 verses of Hebrews chapter 5. Listen to how this writer talks about that work of the high priest. Verse 1, "For every high priest chosen from among men is appointed to do" what? What was the work of the high priest? What was it all about? To act on behalf of men in relation to God. Keep that in your mind. Why was a high priest important? Well, he would act on behalf of men. He would serve men, serve as a kind of representative of everybody before God. We've got God on one side, we've got men on the other, and in between is the high priest, who is appointed by God to offer gifts and sacrifices for sins. Now, he was just a man, right? Verse 2, "He can deal gently with the ignorant and wayward, since he himself is beset with weakness." We'll talk a little bit about that. How was even the high priest weak before God? Verse 3, "Because of this, he is obligated to offer sacrifice for his own sins, just as he does for those of the people. And no one takes this honor for himself, but only when called by God." Where did it start? Who was the very first high priest? Aaron, the brother of Moses. Now, there's a lot going on there. For right now, what I want you to see is Aaron was the first one. He was chosen by God. On one side, we've got a holy God, and on the other side, we've got the people, and in between is the high priest. And as he would serve in this tabernacle, especially going into the most holy place, once a year, he would wear special clothes, holy garments. God says these are for glory and for beauty. And I want to highlight just 3 details of these garments. First of all, this colorful coat called an ephod, a colorful linen garment, and on the shoulders, it held 2 stones. 2 stones on which were engraved the 12 names of the tribes of Israel. It was like as he came before God, he was carrying Israel on his shoulders. On top of the ephod was this breast piece. It had 3 columns, 4 rows, 12 stones that he would wear right there in front. And on each one of those stones was a name of the tribes of Israel. It's like he's carrying them on his shoulders and carrying them in front of God, carrying them to God. As he does, he would wear this turban, and what made it special was it held a golden crown. It was called the royal crown, and on it, written in Hebrew, was this inscription: Holy to the Lord. I want you to imagine this high priest coming into the presence of God, carrying the children of Israel on his shoulders, carrying them on his chest before God, and he has a crown that says, Holy to the Lord. He wasn't the only one. Other priests wore special garments, not as colorful, not as important, but I want you to listen to what God said back there in Exodus 28. These men have been given to the Lord. They are to be holy to the Lord. They are doing holy work. And anytime they come in the tent of meeting or come near the altar to minister in the holy place, they are to wear these clothes lest they bear guilt and die. Serving in the tabernacle was serious work involving a serious devotion to God. We've got a lot to talk about as far as these priests are concerned, what they were doing in the Old Testament, and you and I in our New Testaments will even see together in class, Christians are called to be priests. That sounds serious. Let's talk about it. I appreciate you being in class. I hope you have a great rest of your class and a great rest of this week.